All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebony again, a.k.a. Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity House Style, and today we have Miss Stephanie with us. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for taking time to share gems with us today. And for those of you that choose to stick around to the end as a form of appreciation, I'll have you earn a complimentary gift. So stick around and let's see what Miss Stephanie wants to share with us today. So Stephanie, so we get to know a little bit more about you. Can you start us off just by sharing a motivational quote, something that inspires you, encourages you, and motivates you?
Your attitude, your altitude. I am choosing and not waiting to be chosen. Those are things that are motivating to me because I feel as though sometimes we wait for people to give us opportunities or give us validation. And it kind of can, how do I say this? It causes delays in our evolving. So
Yes, and repeat that first quote again because you cut out just at the very, very beginning. Repeat that one more time so that they hear that.
Your attitude determines your altitude.
Your attitude determines your altitude. And I think that you're exactly right. And if you wait on other people, the second part of that, you said if you wait on other people to validate your being or your idea or anything it is about you, sometimes that causes a delay in you being able to go forward in your endeavors. Can you talk about a time when you didn't necessarily see the light at the end of the tunnel and you had some delays of your own? Sometimes we experience external circumstances and challenges that we didn't foresee. So can you talk a little bit about a time when you didn't necessarily see the light at the end of the tunnel and at the end of the day, you were able to bring your goal or your dream to fruition?
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm an American-born Ghanaian. My parents born and raised in Ghana, West Africa. My siblings were also born and raised there. So there's been a lot of times where I haven't understood things because though I went to an American school, I came home and I was raised in a strictly African household. Also, being a foreign descent, I struggled in school, and in a lot of cultures, especially outside the United States, there's a lot of pressure to do well and excel, and I struggled. And I didn't understand why I was struggling, but I realized as I got older that I had a different learning style. I'm a visual learner, and I still am. I'm pretty much good at anything that I can see. I can repeat it and do it pretty much with practice, of course. But I struggled a lot in school, and I had like a great 1 year of high school where I succeeded enough to get into a good college, and I finished college. But I struggled figuring out exactly what I wanted to do. There was things that I was interested in college that my school did not offer, but I've just continued to keep learning and continue to keep reading to evolve myself and to grow myself and to set myself up in a place that I can succeed and do what gives me energy and makes me happy. I love helping people. So it's just been a journey to continue to evolve and grow in that way. So that's been very challenging for me.
Yeah, and I often talk to people that grew up in other cultures, and they say that how they were raised in the household is completely different from the American standard culture. And a lot of times it's trying to fit in with that American standard culture with your friends and then still remembering your values from the household. Sometimes they clash. And particularly, sometimes people will tell me when they invite friends over and they're around that family that doesn't understand a lot of times, why are you dressing that way? Why are you talking that way? Why are you acting that way? Why are you making those kind of choices? You know? So I can understand the clash. I grew up in an area where there were people of different nationalities, Therefore, I had friends of different nationalities. And it was interesting going to their different households and seeing how things were done, which was very different from the traditional, I'm American, my whole family's been in America for years, and this is how we do things in America. So it's an interesting dichotomy sometimes, but you can learn a lot too from being around different styles of, development and learning.
Absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit about the level of support that you had growing up in your culture and how other people can gain support when it's time to realize their dreams? Because it could be one of two things. Sometimes when you grow up in a different type of culture, you may have family that don't want to support you because you're stepping outside of the bounds of what's expected in that culture. Maybe they want you to become a doctor or a lawyer or engineer, and you don't want to be any of those, and they're looking at you like, well, what's wrong with you? Or you could have the opposite. You could have a family that's very close knit, because I've seen that in other cultures too, where the family is very close knit and they're like, oh, we're all for you, whatever it is that you want to do, we're all here for you, and we're all here as a community. So can you talk a little bit about your experiences in that? And also, how can someone gain support if they feel like they're lacking that type of support to get them from point A to point Z?
Yeah, I felt pretty supported in my family. I mean, obviously there were times where I felt very discouraged and probably didn't feel like I had enough attention or attention in a way that I was able to discuss my dreams and aspirations or my ideas. So I kind of struggled in that. But I remember in middle school, me and my friends, I love dance. Me and my friends used to like make up choreography and do those type of things. So when I got into high school, I tried out for POMs and I made the team. I thought I messed up so bad. I started out very strong though, and then I got distracted with the person next to me, but I started out very strong, and I'm so glad and grateful that my coach saw that potential in me, but it cost so much money. So once I made the team, I realized it cost so much money, like over $500, but I appreciate my mom because she let me do it, because I had to get so much gear, I had to get jacket and stockings and just a lot of things that cost in high school, even when you're just investing in a program. So I was so grateful, and I think I even got emotional about it that she even let me do it, because it's just high school. Like, you're still young. It's not necessarily an investment towards a career or whatever. But I practiced with people that were like me, who wanted to dance. Surrounding yourself with people who are interested in the things that you're interested is very big when it comes to support, even if it's not coming from your family. So that was a big one, and I appreciate that, because I went on to college and started dancing again. And the next year of an organization I was a part of, I became like the lead choreographer. So I've taken that with me, and I've grown and evolved, and I'm a much better dancer now. And as an adult, I want to continue dancing, and I've been teaching dance ministry at my church. So that's something that I love, that I'm in love with right now, and that's my baby. But when it comes to finding and gaining support, again, you just have to surround yourself with people who are like-minded like you. People don't really like the idea of therapy, but group therapies, you can meet amazing people who share the same struggle as you and can support you. There's so much support in therapy, and you can make some great friends, lifelong friends, by going to therapy. And if that is something that you don't want to do, hopefully you have like a close friend that is a supporter and doesn't enable you.
Yeah.
Those are things that I hold dearly to my heart. As far as the support, it's so important to just really surround yourself with people who are interested and at least support the idea, or listen to what gives you energy, that makes you happy, that makes you light up. I found that people that I've been out of college for about 10 years now, but I speak to people that I went to college with, and they're like, oh my gosh, I remember when you used to light up, when you used to dance. And those comments and that feedback means a lot to me, because you could enjoy something for a short time and not realizing like how much you love it, but people can see the light. People can see
Yeah.
things that make you light up and give you energy. And it's so important that you feed those things that make you so happy.
Yes. And I strongly believe that if you really follow what lights you up, you're always going to come in contact with those people that have similar interests, and you're going to be of support to each other. So I wouldn't say to step back away from your passion just because your immediate circle doesn't really understand it. Just continue to pursue it, and you're naturally going to attract those people that have that similar interest, and they become friends. So I love that you had the support growing up, and a lot of people don't necessarily have that, and you took full advantage of it. There are some people that actually have the support of their family and friends, and they don't take advantage of it. They go a different route in life, and they, think that they're all bad by themselves, and they end up in jail, or they end up in a lot of trouble when they really did have the support of their families. I like that you actually took advantage of the fact that you had some people to help support you, and that you wanted to go in a path that really lit you up and follow that dream.
Yeah.
Sometimes with following our dreams, it's a little difficult when we don't take care of ourselves. And a lot of times in a busy society, it's one of those things where we don't really necessarily spend enough time sometimes in self-reflection mode. So can you talk a little bit about the relationship between self-care and us being able to have the energy, the clarity, and the vitality to actually carry out our dreams, and maybe some self-care that you do, or maybe some challenges that you have with self-care and feeding your spirit?
Yes, definitely. So first off, honest moment, I struggle with my eating habits, and a lot of people don't know that either, but sometimes I'm just so unmotivated that I don't want to eat. And it's not necessarily, it could be a little bit of depression, but it's just like a serious lack of motivation. Like when you don't eat, you don't have energy. So that's still something that I'm working on every day. And it's so true when they say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, because it sets the tone for the rest of your day. So if you don't eat in the morning, you make bad food choices at lunch and at dinner. So that's something that I'm working on. As far as more self-care, as far as feeding myself internally, I like to read daily affirmations, things that are positive, things that will give me energy. Even if you don't believe it in the beginning, the more you say it, the more you believe it, and you realize what you say you are, you become.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel strong and every day you start saying, I am strong, you're going to start feeling stronger because you are feeding yourself those positive things. Also, the things you listen to, the things you watch, those things are so important. The people that you surround yourself with, oh my goodness, like you have to be very conscious of what you're listening to and what you're watching, even because those things stick in your mind whether you realize it or not. So I'm very conscious of those things, the things I listen to, the things I tell myself, the things that you decide to believe. That's where it comes into play, the things that you're listening to. You start believing those negative things if you're constantly feeding your body that. You are feeding yourself daily, every minute by minute, the things that are positive and negative. And negativity is contagious. It's contagious whether you want to believe it or not. So it's very important that you're conscious of what you're listening to and what you're telling yourself. And if you are feeling down and you're thinking about all the things that are going wrong, you have to start counting your blessings. You have to start saying that every morning before I get out of bed, or as soon as you brush your teeth, or as soon as you have your breakfast, the sooner the better. You're going to tell yourself these positive things. You're going to say it out loud. You can even do it in the mirror, so you're looking at yourself. And this might sound cheesy, but make sure you smile at the end of it. Because if you're frowning all the time, your body feels that energy. So it's so important that you are trying to uplift yourself with something as silly as a smile. So yeah, those are a few
Yeah.
things I do daily to uplift myself and keep myself motivated from day to day.
Yes, and I am all for positive affirmations and smiling and surrounding yourself with the best people that can really help uplift you. I'm all about that. I notice that when I'm around people that are down and depressed and always complaining, my energy goes significantly down. And it doesn't feel good. It makes me tired. It makes me sluggish. It makes me just not want to, even be awake. I just want to go to sleep. So I'm very conscious of the type of people that I'm around because that energy can really drain me. And I think that sometimes people get so used to being around that type of energy that they feel as though it's normal. They don't know to step out of it because they just feel like this is how my life is, and this is how life is for you too, right? This is how life should be for everybody. Everybody should be stressed out and complaining and down and out, because that's just what they're
Yeah.
used to. You don't know what you don't know. If you're not around enough people that are uplifting and positive and bright, then you don't know that that could be your world. So I strongly encourage people to get around people that make you feel good when you're around them. Not to say that they're always going to have the best of days. I don't always have the best of days, but because the people that I surround myself with are generally light bringers, I don't stay down for very long. As soon as I get around them or as soon as I do my own self-care, I get out of that very quickly. And I think that is the key for a lot of people getting, past their down state in life that they don't seem to know how to get out of. Put yourself in a different environment.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing all of that today. I strongly appreciate your presence here today. And I know that people that are listening can gain a lot of value from everything that you said. And anybody that's listening and you're listening to her and you're saying, that's all well and fine, but, I'm in this job that I can't stand. I have all this excess weight on me that I can't stand. I just don't know where to turn from here. I had said at the beginning of this interview that if you stuck around to the end, you'd have a complimentary gift. If you join my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group, or if you send me an email, all my info is in the description box. I'm going to provide you with free assessments so that you can determine what your gifts are, what are your strengths, what are the things that you can do so that you can focus in on the value that you can bring to this world as well. That way you have a good foundation to start off with. Even if you've been working in a career and you feel as though you're good at it and you're successful on paper, sometimes that's not necessarily the job that's for you or the career that's for you. So if you need help transitioning into something new, I'll provide you with complimentary assessments in that respect as well. Stephanie, do you have anything to end with? Anything that you would like to encourage ladies with before we end? Sorry, can't talk.
Yeah, no problem. I don't think I got the chance to tap into diet and exercise. I know I did mention eating, but exercise helps with everything. Like, you will be surprised how much it helps. It just helps with everything. Your sleep, your energy, the way you feel, the walk in the what do people say? I guess I can't think of the term, but the way you walk, you're going to walk differently. You exude a different energy, and it's very important to be consistent with those things to get long lasting results. But yeah. I just wanted to add that. And I know a lot of people get that advice, like, you should start working out and don't know where to start. The most important thing is that you do start. You have to start somewhere in order to grow and in order to get better at those things. So that's the last words of encouragement that I wanted to add, that just start. Start saying positive affirmations. Start eating better. Be consistent. When you fall off, get back on it. Don't say, oh, well, I messed up and I'm just going to give up. No, start again and just work on being consistent, and you can do this.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you bringing in the whole health and exercise, because I notice that when I do exercise, I feel so much better. I feel so much more clarity and focus. And a lot of times you can get out of a funk just by spending 15 minutes. You don't need to be one of these people that's in the gym for an hour or two every day.
Absolutely.
Just a 15-minute brisk walk sometimes is effective. And as Stephanie said, just get started. And when you fall off, because you're not a robot, right? You're going to fall off at some point in time for some circumstance, right? Unless you're a robot. I don't know too many perfect human beings that never fall off. But if you fall off, just get back on and don't beat yourself up about it. Why are you beating yourself up about something that already occurred? Just live for today. I could do this and leave it at that. Thank you so much, Stephanie. I appreciate you. And any of you that are listening, if you want to also share your experiences, your challenges, and just motivate other ladies, I encourage you to reach out to me. I would love to be able to interview you, have you on one of the future episodes. And don't forget to share this content out with someone else that you believe that can benefit, because too many of us are walking around feeling like, I don't know where my inspiration is coming from, and I've been wanting to do X, Y, Z, but I don't really have the right people around me. As I said, you can join my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group, which is in the description box, but also invite others that feel like they need a support system and they need people that is going to help encourage them when they don't feel that they're at their best. Thank you, Stephanie. I will talk to you soon. And all of you that are listening, no matter where you are in the world, always remember to live a life full of meaning and purpose. I'll talk to you in our next episode.